I decided to give street photography a serious go. It's a genre that attracts people for many reasons, like curiosity, love of observation, desire to document history, the raw, unscripted moments of daily life. For some, it's about capturing beauty, irony, or humour among the chaos of town life. Others see it as a way to record culture, fashion, and social interactions of a particular time and place. And many are motivated by the human stories, the faces, the expressions, interactions that connect us all. After watching some videos about street photography, I realised that it could be a deeply personal and rewarding form of creative expression. It helps us to appreciate the world around us more fully. I was quite excited to try it so that I could share the sights and the stories that I encounter. But my first day just didn't go as planned. And now I'm sitting here reconsidering whether street photography is something that I really want to pursue. The biggest thing that worried me was privacy. I thought long and hard about it and imagined myself in the situation of being photographed without my permission or even my knowledge and possibly seeing it online. How would that make me feel? And then how would that make someone else feel? Even in public, individuals have the reasonable expectation of not being unwittingly documented or having their images shared, monetised or misinterpreted without consent. This can feel like exploitation and it's uncomfortable. And as I found out today, sometimes it can even lead to conflict. Photographing strangers does pose a safety risk. I experienced verbal abuse from a person on a motorised bike. I don't care what people like him do. I'm not the law, and I didn't really pay attention to him at first anyway. He was just another everyday person doing his own thing. But what he did was unacceptable and unforgivable. As for me, I was just walking along, camera hanging around my neck and one hand supporting it. It was actually switched off. I was looking in the opposite direction at a garden bed and thinking about taking a photograph of some flowers. I was just minding my own business, looking for shots in that garden. And I was heading to another location. Without the swear words, this guy yelled at the top of his lungs, aggressively saying, "Yeah, go on. I dare you to take my photo. I'll break that camera by smashing it into your skull." I looked over at him and he kind of swerved his bike a little towards me, but I straightened up and I gave him a glare and he realigned and he continued to ride his bike down the road, but still yelling all sorts of profanities at me, making it known that he disapproved of me being on that street. These individuals are everywhere. Stupid, drug affected, or simply aggressive, or mentally ill. I felt so vulnerable after that, so I put the camera away and I just started walking home. I'm a person of kindness and respect, and I'm always mindful of avoiding images of people or license plates, especially children being in my shots. I did not at any point look to photograph that person. My camera was switched off. While many people acknowledge me politely, some looked visibly uncomfortable or unaware that I was photographing around them. That's the challenge of street photography, balancing the pursuit of compelling images with respect for personal boundaries. There's legal considerations and ethical responsibilities. One important thing to note, just because a camera is pointing your way does not mean that they are photographing you. The thing is, I have a zoom camera and I may be focused on a bird on the sidewalk, or maybe I like your shoes and I'm just zoomed in on your moving feet. As I said, I gave careful consideration to people not wishing to be photographed. Ultimately, I have decided that the safest approach to do street photography would be when there's no people around, preferably early mornings, since I prefer not to have strangers in my photos anyway. For someone with PTSD and anxiety, it's a real challenge. That pathetic behaviour from the guy on the bike, it triggered something in me that I haven't experienced for quite a while. After my attempt, I debriefed with a friend and I explained that I started confidently, but after that guy, I felt like the whole exercise was a failure and I was upset and shaken. I suggested I might cross street photography off my list because it made me feel vulnerable and could harm my mental health. I thought I was much stronger, but no, it seems I'm not. My friend reminded me that I did nothing wrong to provoke that person and that I can take precautions, like going out early or bringing someone along to feel safer. It's disheartening that an older person like me, older woman, I can't walk safely without fear of encountering such people. Sadly, this is reality for a lot of towns, and this town's just no exception. Maui has a reputation for violence, crime, and worse. Some things I've seen firsthand. We have alarmingly high rates of crime, drug abuse, alcohol addiction, abuse against children, and domestic violence, and it contributes to the disharmony and chaos here. These issues are well documented in local crime statistics and community reports, and they create a cycle of instability and harm that affects absolutely everyone. Growing up here, I've seen how these problems shape this community, how they breed mistrust, fear and division. I've spoken out openly about how toxic and fractured this town can be, but it's just met with hostility, because in today's culture, many prefer to focus only on the positive, to sugarcoat reality and ignore the deeper issues. The gaslighting phrase is, "We have to live here." Well, technically, no, you don't have to. Just like I don't have to. But we choose to live here, yet we choose to ignore the reality and the truths. That's exactly why I wanted to do street photography, to show you what this town is really like through my photography. The most picturesque and beautiful areas of town, and the damage that's done to nature, or the things that make the little havens an eyesore. This town could be so much better if we all did our part, if we kept troublemakers in check, instead of caring for the land or nurturing it for the next generations. Many prioritise greed and privilege. They sit comfortably claiming to support beautification and progress while exploiting others and ignoring the genuine efforts of those who do give from the heart. The real people here struggle endlessly. And here's an example of greed. How many places of business are gone? How many empty shops? Because the greedy investors have Melbourne prices on a country town's rent. Truths are evident, and my photographs will reflect the good, the bad, and the ugly of this town. My hope is that by sharing these images, some change might happen, even if it's a small change. Things can improve, and we can take pride in our community and its people, making it pleasant again.